Recording. Hi, I'm Jonah Gabry. I'm a statistician and researcher at Columbia University and one of the STAN developers and a member of the STAN governing body, the SGB. We're each going to introduce ourselves and then talk a little bit about what we've been working on this year. Next is Leah.
Hi, I'm Leah Comment. I'm a biostatistician and a researcher in Bayesian causal inference and decision making at Foundation Medicine Incorporated, and I'm going to be discussing the community engagement project.
Hi, I'm Imad Ali. I'm a statistician working as a data scientist at PlayStation, and I'm going to be talking about what we're working on with regards to improving the website.
Hi, and I'm Bill Gillespie. I'm a pharmacometrician. I work at Metrum Research Group. I'm particularly interested in the development and application of open source tools for Bayesian analysis of pharmacometric data, and have been working on developing some extensions to STAN for those kinds of applications.
Hello, my name is Márquez. I'm a statistician working as a data scientist at the Rockefeller Foundation, where I've been using Bayesian statistics for projects on geospatial analysis. And I'll be discussing a couple of miscellaneous items, but mostly about the governance and the role of the SGB.
All right, so I'm going to talk about briefly the voting proposal that we have. So historically, STAN has functioned without any official mechanism for resolving disagreements among developers. And this can really put a drag on the development process, even though for the most part, things have worked successfully. We don't want to impose anything too heavy-handed, so we've introduced a proposal that is somewhat inspired by the Apache project's voting system. Ours is a bit simpler. And this would put into place a voting system for developers as a way to resolve any disagreements over the technical direction of the project. You can find this proposal in the STAN governance category on the STAN forums, and we'd really love feedback not just from the current STAN contributors, but also from anyone who's thinking about potentially contributing to STAN, or just anybody who's interested in the future of STAN development. There's also another proposal that we have for a new STAN code of conduct, but you'll be hearing about that separately from the SGB's appointed code of conduct committee, who's done a great job on that. All right, Leah?
Hi, I'll be talking about community engagement. So from the very beginning, the STAN governing board was really interested in looking for ways to empower users and developers. We feel like having a really top-down management style isn't great for the project, and honestly, we've kind of outgrown it. That it's just not feasible anymore. So we know that there are a lot of people that are committed, passionate users of STAN that have a lot of enthusiasm and know-how to get some things done. And we want to make it easier for those people to self-organize and come together and work on what's important to them. So earlier this year, we requested feedback on a proposal that would recognize these people, where we sort of proposed this idea of a STAN contributor. And this would be a mechanism to thank them for all their work on STAN, and also to give increased visibility so those people could sort of connect and self-organize over issues they care about. Based on feedback from the community, we're actually going to be rolling this into the technical developer voting system that Jonah was just talking about. And so we have a community module that we're going to be proposing within the STAN development team. And this type of recognition isn't unprecedented, even in the STAN project. But it's going to be encouraging more people who are committed to STAN's future to put themselves forward and really connect over these issues. So if you're, for example, interested in creating educational content for STAN, this should make it easier to find people with similar interests. We hope that by featuring these individuals, giving them a platform to talk about their work, we can catalyze some of these connections. And it also gives dedicated users some representation with respect to the overall direction of the STAN project. So thank you to all who commented and gave us feedback on these ideas.
Cool. So, so everyone's well aware that the website could use some work. We've been making some progress towards website redesign. Currently, we gathered a bunch of really useful feedback from the STAN community on Discourse. And some of the key areas that people sort of highlighted are things like having quick start guides for new users and popular interfaces like R and Python, having a playground for users to interact with STAN without having to go through the hurdles of installing it on their own machine, So that's sort of something similar to what Rust has on their website. Improving the ability to discover what's changed and what new features have been added with new releases. And defining the site flow for new and returning users and new and returning developers to make sort of information easily accessible for them. So the next step we're working towards is finding a developer that can address aspects of functional, graphical, and technical design and work towards redesigning a website that can easily be maintained by the Stan developers. It's pretty challenging since, as everyone's well aware of, Stan is a project that's not really just a language itself, but it's like an ecosystem of a bunch of different languages and packages. But overall, we're headed in the right direction with the website redesign. And thanks to everyone who's been contributing their thoughts and ideas about how to improve the website.
Hi, I was going to take just a little bit of time to talk about our relationship with NumFocus. The STAN project is funded through NumFocus, which functions as a fiscal sponsor for activities. Now, NumFocus itself is a nonprofit corporation that provides us with a fiscal home as well as a fiscal home for several other open source software development projects. They help us with finances. They also offer services to help with things like conference organization, for example. As part of my role as a board member, I act as a liaison with NumFocus, and in that role, I help to facilitate things like payments for various expenses incurred by the STAN project, as well as to direct donated funds to our NumFocus account. For example, I arranged for STAN to participate in the GitHub Sponsors Program. And I guess with that in mind, just a reminder to everybody that if they would like to contribute funds to the STAN project, you can do so through links at either the STAN website or through the various GitHub sites associated with the STAN project.
Great, and I'll be discussing briefly some miscellaneous items regarding how the SGB is transparent in the sense that all the decisions that we take are reported on a monthly basis in our communication forums. So if you have any questions or have a proposal that you would want to discuss with the SGB, looking support or some feedback, we're always open to that. And over the last months, there have been a few projects that have been brought to the attention of the SGB looking for support. And so we've give careful advice as well as making sure that this SGB builds a skeleton for the next SGB members, because we want to make sure that anybody who comes on board and is interested in developing the future of this project has all the tools that they need in order to continue the work that we're currently doing. And that includes the contributor proposal, the website redesign, the sponsorship programs. So all these programs are something that we continue to report on, and we will love feedback on how well we're doing in transparency for you and the community and what you would want to hear from us as well. So I really thank you all for your presence here at StanCon, and I hope to see you hopefully in person next year. So thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.